Hello all, welcome to another session in this course. As part of this session, I am going to cover the next topic under the JavaScript basics, that is variables. What are variables and how to create or declare these variables in JavaScript. Everything I am going to cover in this session. So let's begin. So what are variables? Let me explain that first. What are variables? Variables. So in JavaScript, what exactly are variables? If you ask someone, not only in JavaScript, guys, if you ask someone in Java programming language, or it may be Python programming language, or it can be Ruby, it can be C Sharp, whatever the programming language, okay, including JavaScript. If you ask someone what exactly is a variable, they will give you this particular answer. Okay, when you ask someone what is a variable, they will generally, okay, most of the people in the market give you this answer, that is variable. Variables store data. Okay, variables store data, this is what is simple answer. Okay, they will tell you or give you when you ask this question, what is a variable. Okay, when you ask them what is a variable, you are going to get this particular answer, variable store data. This answer you are going to get. Okay, this answer you guys are going to get when you ask someone what exactly is a variable. But is the answer right? Maybe most of the people who are asking this particular question in the interviews will be satisfied with this answer. They are not clearly or technically explaining what exactly is a variable, but you are explaining what is the purpose of the variable. So here the variable store data is the answer for what is the purpose of the variables. What is the, if someone asks you what is the use of variables or what is the purpose of variables, okay, then this answer is 100% right, guys. Okay, exactly you got the answer here. Okay, what is the purpose of the variables? Variables store data. Okay, what is the purpose of the variables? Variable store data is the purpose of the variables. But what exactly is a variable? Still not clear, right? Okay, most of the times when you ask this question, what is a variable? A lot of people give you the answer like variable store data, which is the answer for what is the purpose of the variables question. But what is a variable? If I have to answer in a proper way, let me explain. Okay, assume that this is a computer memory. Assume that this particular box is a computer memory, entire computer memory. I'm dividing this computer memory into multiple slots, guys. I'm dividing this. Okay, I'm dividing this computer memory into multiple slots like this. Okay, I'm dividing this computer memory into multiple slots. Like this, I'll divide the computer memory into multiple slots like this. Okay, once you divide the computer memory into this multiple slots, okay, then if you create a variable in programming language, any programming language, let's say currently we are in JavaScript, right? In JavaScript language, how to create the variable? You have to create like this. Let, okay, let is a keyword that you have to use in JavaScript for declaring the variables. I'll just name the variable as, a is equal to 5. Like this and semicolon. Okay, if I write this statement like this in JavaScript, okay, I'll explain more about this statement later. But for now, okay, if I write this statement like this, let a is equal to 5. Okay, let is a keyword we have to use in JavaScript to declare the variable. Okay, and here I'm saying a is a variable, and into the variable a, what is getting stored? 5 value is getting stored. So a lot of people by looking at this statement say that what is a variable means, they will say variable store data. Here 5 is getting stored into the variable. But is that the answer for the variable? The purpose of the variable is to store this data. Okay, the purpose of this variable is to store the data. That's 100% right. But what exactly is a variable? You are going to understand now. The moment I write this statement in JavaScript programming language, like let a is equal to 5, semicolon or something. Okay, here the data 5 is getting stored into one of the memory slot of the computer. In this entire computer memory, in one of the memory slot, this data 5 got stored. Now this memory location has some address 1011. Okay, this slot has some address like 1011. This one has address like 1010. Okay. The other memory slot has address like 1111. The other slot has address like 1110. Every memory slot will have some address. But is it possible for you guys to remember the address of each and every memory slot? No, right? It's not possible for us to remember the address of each and every memory slot. Same thing happens in the real world, okay? Everyone nowadays is carrying the mobile phone. In your mobile phone, there are a lot of contacts. Do you remember each and every contact number that is stored in your mobile phone? It's not possible, right? Few numbers we can remember who are close to us or your family members or someone, okay? Brothers, sisters, okay? Parents, okay? And other family members you generally remember, right? But can you remember each and every mobile number that is stored in your mobile phone? No, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to name the contacts. Okay, in our context list. Okay, when you add a particular number into your mobile phone, you will give it some name of the person or something, or the details of the person. You will just enter in the name so that whenever required, okay, whenever required, you will search for that name and the appropriate contact number will appear on the mobile phone and you will call them, right? So we cannot remember each and every mobile phone number. Similarly, remembering the each and every memory slot address number is again like 1011 1010. This kind of things is not possible. Okay. So what we have to do is like we are giving the contact names to the contact numbers in our mobile phone for these memory addresses where the actual data is stored in the computer memory in the particular memory address. Though we are not able to remember this memory address, we can give it some name. Okay. We can give it some name. What is the name in this statement? Here, phi is the data. What is the name given to this memory location where the actual data phi is stored? That is nothing but A. In this example statement, A is nothing but the name given to the memory location. A is nothing but the name given to the memory location where the actual data is stored. Okay. A is nothing but the name given to the reserved memory location where the actual data 5 in this particular example is stored. That name given to the reserved memory location where the actual data file is stored is nothing but the variable. Okay, what is a variable? If someone asks you what is a variable, you have to answer like this. Variable is nothing but variable is nothing but a name given to the reserved memory location, reserved memory location where the actual data, where the actual data 5 is stored. What is a variable, guys? Variable is nothing but a name. It's like a name given to the reserved memory location where the actual data file is stored, where the actual data file is stored, or some actual data is stored. So here I have to change. Variable is nothing but name given to the where the actual data is stored. Okay, I don't. Pi is an example, right? Okay, I'll write like this is the correct way. Okay, so if you can answer like this, okay, if you can answer like this, that's okay, guys. Okay, if you can answer like this, that's okay. What is a variable, guys? What is the actual answer for the variable? What is the actual answer for the variable? This is the actual answer for the what is variable. Technically speaking, this is the right answer for what is a variable. If someone asks you what is a variable, then even though you are giving the right answer, but most of the people in the market still believe that variable store data. So do we have to give this answer for this question or this answer still? Though you are answering correctly here, but a lot of people may not understand whatever you are answering here. They are expecting this answer. Even though the question is what is a variable, they are expecting the answer for what is the purpose of the variable. Then what to do? How to overcome this problem? Whenever someone asks you what is a variable, you have to start with this explanation and then also explain this also. Okay. Give both the answers. Whenever someone is asking what is a variable, you not only explain what is a variable, but also you explain what is the purpose of the variables. Okay. So if I ask you what is a variable, you have to answer like this. Variable is nothing but the name given to the reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. Okay. Since we cannot remember the memory address of each and every location of the memory where the actual data is stored, we are going to give it some name, and using the name, we can access this memory location where the actual data is stored. That's what is a variable. Variable is nothing but the name given to the reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. The purpose of the variable is to store the data. Like this, you have to answer. Someone asks you what is a variable, you have to say variable is nothing but the name given to the reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. The purpose of the variables is to store the data. Like this, you explain and give this example. If they are asking you in JavaScript or something, you have to create the variable like this and declare the variable with the let keyword and use is equal to and assign some data here. Like that, you have to say. Okay. So this is how you need to answer this question, guys. Variable is nothing but a name given to the reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. The purpose of the variables is to store the data. So how to create the variables in JavaScript? In order for you to create the variables in JavaScript, you have to know three keywords, three items you need to know. If you want to create this kind of variables, which are nothing but the names given to the reserved memory location where the actual data is stored and whose purpose is to store the data. Okay. If you want to create them in JavaScript programming language, there are three variables that you need to know. One is var keyword, other one is let keyword, other one is const keyword. Three keywords, okay? There are three keywords for creating the variables in JavaScript. In these three keywords, you should ignore this var keyword. Var keyword is the older one, guys, okay? No one is using nowadays, okay? It was the older one, okay? The older one is a var keyword. Okay, here some notes are also there, guys. Okay, if you want to have a reference of these notes regarding this variables regarding the var, let, and const, here we have this notes also available. I'll just open that. Okay, anyhow, I'll explain on the fly whatever the details are on these notes at this point of time. You see, a lot of things will be coming in these notes, but you need not understand each and everything that is mentioned in these notes at this point of time. But whatever that is really required, I'm going to cover at a high level from these notes. Okay, as a reference, I'm going to use these notes. The old way of creating the variables is by using the var keyword. Okay. What is the old way of creating the variables? We used to create the variables. Okay. In the earlier days, when someone is using the JavaScript, they used to create the variables like this, where a is equal to 5 like that. They used to create. They used to create the variables with the help of the var keyword, right? But now, do we have to follow this old approach? No. Okay, let's not worry too much and waste our time understanding why where keyword is not required now, why it got, why it's the old way and why we are not using the where keyword nowadays. Okay, you see, it's an older version, older thing, right? Older thing. Why we have to learn each and every older thing and again waste our time here? Let us directly jump into the topic about the variables. Okay, so what is where is the older one, and we don't. Okay, no one will recommend you to declare the or create the variables with the var keyword. Okay, no one will ask you to. No one will nowadays use this var keyword for declaring or creating the variables. So the remaining two options that are left out for us are for creating the variables are let and const. Okay, these are the two keywords we have to focus. Already I covered the let here. Let a is equal to 5. Already I covered this. Okay, let a is equal to 5. Already I covered. So what is advantage of using the let keyword and how it is different from the const keyword? I'm going to cover now. Just wait. So I'll open the Visual Studio. Here, create a new file, guys. Okay, I'll just name this file as demo, or I'll say 2.js. 2.js. Earlier it was demo.js. Now it's 2.js. Here I'm going to create the variable using let keyword. Let a is equal to 5. Like this, I'll create. Okay, how to print this? How to print this variable, guys? How to print this value 5 here? If I print this variable, automatically this value 5 will be printed. In the previous session, if you remember, for printing the text, I have to surround the text with double quotes and put that inside the console.log statement. If I want to print a number, I have to put the number without surrounding with double quotes. Directly, I have to pass the number into the console.log and number 9 will get printed. And if I want to print multiple items like, text surrounded by double quotes, number, again text surrounded by double quotes, text surrounded by double quotes, again some number if you want, okay? Again some number, okay? You can add any number of items to this console.log. Okay, it can be any type, but text need to be surrounded by double quotes and numbers need not be surrounded by double quotes. Everything should be separated by comma. And to run this, we have to run like this, right? Node demo.js. Sorry, clear, I'll say. There is a mistake. Node demo.js. You see, you'll get the output. I love JavaScript 9. I love JavaScript got printed. Okay, text surrounded by double quotes. Number got printed 9. Experience 18, location Hyderabad 25. You can see all the items which are provided in the console.log got printed. Till now, I was using console.log for printing either the text or some data, directly data. But in this case, for the first time, I'm going to show you how to use console.log for printing the value that is stored in the variable. Okay, so CLG tab or console.log, if you remember this, that's okay. Console.log. In this console.log, just provide a. Okay, the name of the variable you provide. Don't surround this with double quotes or single quotes or whatever it may be. Directly pass the variable name in the console.log. What will happen? Will a will be printed or 5 will be printed in this case? Will a the variable name will be printed in the output? When I run this code, console.log will print the variable name as it is like a in the output, or it will print the value that is stored in the variable in the output. It will print the value that is stored in the variable in the output, guys. Okay. So here I'll say node space, the name and extension of the file, that is 2.js. You see 5 got printed. When I print the variable name, the value that is actually stored in the variable got printed here, guys. Okay. This is what happens. This is what happens. Okay. This is how you can print the variables. And uh, when you print the variables, what will happen? The actual data that is actually stored in the variable will get printed in the output. Okay. Will not get the variable name printed here. It will actually print the value that is stored in the variable in the output. So using the let keyword, I created this variable. Okay. You can also say we declared the variable with the let keyword, guys. So we can also say we have declared this variable a with let keyword. Okay. And into that variable, we have stored the value 5. Okay. We have stored the value 5. Fine. So a lot of other things are there. I'll cover. Okay, I can explain a lot of things about this statement here. But for now, at a high level, understand that in order for you to create the variable in JavaScript, we have to either use var keyword or let keyword or const keyword. So var keyword is already, it's an old one. It's not recommended to use it. Rather, you focus on using let and const according to your requirements. Don't worry what is the difference between var and let. Okay, if you really want to find out, you can go to Google and find out. You'll get all the details. But it's not really required, guys. Okay, at this point of time in our learning, it is not required. You can ignore that. Okay, but anyhow, in real time, we'll be using the let keyword. We'll not be using var keyword. And when you declare the variable with when you declare this particular variable or create this variable with the help of let keyword, you can assign some value here. And when you print the variable name, automatically the value that is stored in the variable will get printed. Fine. So the advantage of the let keyword, okay, advantage of using the let keyword for creating the variable or declaring the variable in JavaScript is that you can change its value, guys. Okay, a is equal to 10, I can say. First you said let a is equal to 5. Now I'm saying a is equal to 10. Now if I print this variable a, 5 will be printed or 10 will be printed? 5 will be printed or 10 will be printed? The latest value 10 will be printed, guys. Okay. How this will happen? So here earlier you said let a is equal to 5. Okay. Then you said a is equal to 10. The next statement you said a is equal to 10. So this 10 will be stored in one of the memory location here. Assume that the 10 got stored in this memory location. Okay, 10 got stored in this another memory slot. Now a is equal to 10. Earlier a was referring to the memory location where the actual data 5 was stored. The moment you say in the next statement, when you say a, after this statement in the program, when you say a is equal to 10, a will now refer to the memory location where the 10 is now stored. Okay. Now what at a time a can be referring only to one memory slot. Since a is currently referring to the memory location where the latest data 10 is stored, the reference to the connection to the, okay, older slot is lost here. Okay, a is no more referring to the memory location where the earlier data 5 was stored, and now new connection has been made to this memory slot where the 10 is stored. Okay, so here 5 will not be deleted immediately, guys. Okay, maybe the programming language cleaning mechanism later will clear this if it is unused for a period of time. For now, a is actually referring to this 10, not 5. Okay, so that is the reason when you write console.log of a, since a is currently referring to the memory location where the 10 is stored, what will be printed in the output? 5 will be printed or 10 will be printed? The latest value 10 will be printed, guys. Okay, the latest value 10 will be printed. Node 2.js, you see 10 got printed. Okay, 10 got printed. Okay, so we can update the value of the variable from the first one to the second one. Okay, so this is the purpose of the let keyword, guys. Okay, using let keyword, this is possible. Using let keyword, this is possible. Now, along with the let keyword, we also have the const. Along with the let keyword, we also have the const keyword, right? Let me explain about the const keyword. What will happen with the const keyword? If you are using const keyword, const, okay, b is equal to 6. Const b is equal to 6. If you say, let me write that here. So here I'll write down const b is equal to 6. Okay, another variable I created. Now, if I say console.log of b, what will be printed? The value that is actually stored into the variable b got printed, but this time the variable b is declared or created with const keyword. Okay, when I run this code, what will happen? You see, first 10 got printed, then 6 got printed. Here a got printed as 10, the latest value, and b got printed as currently stored value into the b, that is 6 got printed. But now, can you update the this value that is stored into the variable b with another value, like I have done with the variable a? Here a was initially provided with 5, then it got updated with 10. Can I do the same thing with b? B is equal to 12, can I say? You see, here it's not giving you any problems or so, but when I run this code, I'm going to get an error. You see, 10 got printed. A got printed as the latest updated value into the variable A. That is, A is now referring to the new memory location where the actual 10 data 10 is stored, and it's no more referring to 5. So 10 got printed here. But what happened with the B? B is equal to 12. There is a problem. B is declared with a keyword known as const keyword. When you declare a particular variable instead of the let keyword, if you declare the variable with const keyword, its assigned value cannot be updated, guys. Okay, cannot change the value here. You cannot change you cannot update the value that is initially stored into the variable with any other value. Okay, so this is a problem. Okay, it's not the problem, it's actually how it works. Okay, but there is no restriction with let declared variables. Let declared variable values can be updated. Okay, it is actually a variable. Here b is like a constant, guys. Okay, here a is a variable, b is a constant. You have to generally say what is a variable whose value keeps changing is called as a variable. Here a can be called as a variable, guys, but b is not a variable, guys. It is a constant. B is not a variable, it is a constant, guys, whose value cannot be updatable. Okay, if you remove this, it will work. Okay, if you remove this, you will not get this. Assignment to constant variable is not possible. Here they are saying constant variable whose value cannot be updatable. Okay, just give me a second. Let me run it again this time after updating. You see, now it's working fine, but you cannot modify the value that is originally stored into the variable with any other value because constant variables or constants cannot be updatable. Okay, whereas let declared variables values can be updatable, and latest updated value will be accessed here when you try to print the variables, etc. Okay, so here a lot of things you have identified, guys. Okay, a lot of things you have learned here, right? So at a high level, this is like, where is the old one? You don't have to worry about that. Then the modern way and safe way is the let keyword. Oh, you can also update it. Reassignment allowed. You see, you can change from Alice to Bob or something. Then what is the next thing? Next, you don't have to understand each and everything that is there in the notes at a high level, whatever. Constant values cannot change. Okay, you cannot change. You see, initially you have given 3.14, you cannot change it back, change it to this one later. Okay, only one time. If you know that the initial given value is the final one and you don't want to update it anymore, then you have to go with a const. You have to declare that constant variable with const. Otherwise, you can declare that variable with the let keyword. Okay, and where keyword already told you it's older one. You don't have to learn about that. Okay. So guys, I don't want to go in depth at this point of time for this particular session. This much of information is more than enough. Though there are a lot of things that I need to explain you, okay, regarding the variables, declaring with let and const keyword and all those stuff. But at this point of time, I don't want to go too deep. At this point of time, I would like to stop here, and when the right time comes, I'll explain more about this variables topic for you. Okay. So hope guys you understood what exactly are variables and how to create them in JavaScript using the latest trends like let and const, and based on the value you want to update or not of the variable, you have to either use let or const, and where is outdated, you don't have to use. So in the next session, I'm going to explain about the literals topic, guys. Okay. Till then, see you. Bye bye.